These mother suckers. Issues detected. You may experience performance issues. I won't tell a soul. No one has to know. If you want to be totally discreet. Welcome to Can Angels Fly Tarot, and I am Nancy. We're here to have a discussion today about twin flames and the love of an angel. As soon as a few people come into the room, I will commence with the discussion. But until then, I'll shuffle my cards. There is a song that I do ask you to Google and listen to, because the song that I will be introducing to you is the theme song for of my twin flame connection, and it is written and sung by Luther Vandross, and the title of the song is called If Only for One Night. Again, I invite you to YouTube it or Google that particular artist, Luther Vandross, and listen to his song. It is called If Only for One Night. It is the theme song that is associated with my twin flame connection. As mentioned, this live stream is a discussion about twin flames and an angel's love. And I will again commence once there are a few people in the room. I guess I can make this other announcement. And the other announcement is that I do have my tarot cards readily available. And near the end of this live stream, I will be accepting any of your burning questions and will offer you a one card answer to your question. Hello, welcome. And I really wish I could play that song now. That would be really nice to help enhance my memories. Yeah, that would be nice. Joyce. Hi, Nancy. Please give me a twin flame reading. Oh, my birthday is June 14th, 1989. Well, Joyce, what you're asking for is a very detailed, complex process, and that's not what I will be handling in this live stream. However, I will be talking about twin flames, and maybe if you stick around, I might discuss something that you are familiar with relative to twin flames. Welcome. I'm trying to wait a few minutes to see if other people are going to come into the room. I don't want to get started with the discussion and people come in late and don't know what I'm talking about, because I've been sharing here on YouTube that my dream world has been changing, and I tend to be more in control of the experiences I'm having in my dream world, as well as how can I say, somewhat like summoning up more tolerable, more appropriate, more useful dreams than I ever have at any time and at my will. And you say, Joyce says, I think I may have met mine. It's so crazy. Well, we're going to talk about it. I guess since people aren't coming in as quickly as I would have liked them to, I guess I'll have to commence with the discussion so we can get right down to it. Feel free to make any comment that you want to share here on this live stream. Again, welcome to Ken Angel's Fly Tarot Live. And this discussion is about twin flames and an angel's love. I'm going to begin this live stream talking about a dream I had a few years ago. It's significant. And why is it significant? It is because it is the dream contained, what can I call it? So one of the highest expressions of love. But even that experience between me and an angel was not the highest expression of love. It was high, but I realized last night that the twin flame connection, expression of love, vibration is even higher than that between a soul, a being, myself, and an angel. And I'm sure, but I'm just inferring that the love between the creator and us must be through the roof. I'll say that, must be through the roof. So let me talk about this stream. Maybe I can make it make sense. Again, this is discussion. I don't plan for this live stream to be very long, but it is so significant and it is making a real impact in my life. And I thought I'd share it. The dream I had several years ago. I do have a video here on YouTube, and it is called literally An Angel's Love. And I go into detail about that dream. Welcome. An Angel's Love. In my sleeping time, the dream world, I was immediately transported to a beautiful open field that had flowers and like mountains in the background, and the colors were that like people describe when they take DMT. They weren't normal colors that are familiar in this plane. They were more brilliant, they were more magnified. I was transported suddenly in the presence of this angel. The angel was really tall. I want to say he might have been about 12 feet, 15 feet tall, and very athletic built. The angel in my dream, he was an African American. And now I'm not trying to get technical nor take anything from anybody. This was just my dream and my experience. He had very long, clean dreadlocks that hung over his shoulders and down his back. Again, he was athletic. He had like a white, what they call it, kilt on, and his waist was narrow and garnered with like a gold sheen belt. And I say sheen because it was he was clean. And that's how I describe him. He was clean. He was so pure and clean. His dreads were clean. His skin was clean and kissed by the sun. And he had this six pack. He had the whole thing. He was beautiful. And he had these enormous, beautiful white wings that end up vanishing during the course of my dream. I'm going somewhere with this if you just ride the wave with me. And the angel, he never touched the ground, as if he was too clean to land on the ground or on the surface. But what he did was stuck his hand out to me in a gesture to come to him. Now, mind you, he's like levitating above the ground. I'm going somewhere with this. And so the next thing I know, I'm levitated up to him. And he just takes me gently and he embraces me. Now, mind you, this angel had to be 12 to 15 feet tall, well proportioned, that looking like a god or something. And I don't want to magnify him up on the level of a god, but he was divine. He was beautiful. He was clean. He was crisp. And anyway, why am I sharing this story? Hi, Lori. How are you? You made it. I'm so happy you made it. I wish more folks can make it in before I get to the twin flame part. But I'm sharing my dream about an angel that I had several years ago for a reason. And the reason is that I have been experiencing in the course of my life different levels of love. And I personally, in this physical realm, don't feel that there's much love here. It seems to be very conditional, to say the least. And I can dig why love in this realm is conditional. I can get it. But the love that I've experienced is in my dream state is love that is it defies the rules here. It defies gravity. It defies emotions. In this physical vessel, I don't believe, based on my experiences, that we can contain the love. And I'm going to make it make sense. I'm going to make it make sense. So let me finish this dream about the angel and myself. As I mentioned, he's beautiful. He's between 12 to 15 feet tall. He's a African American, I'll say, angel, and he has these long, beautiful dreads, a white pleated, folded kilt on with garnered at the waist with a gold belt. He's clean. He's clean like nothing you've ever seen before. He radiates peace. And it is just this cleanliness. He's so clean that he cannot land on the earth. Now, the earth that I was transported to was something like a paradise. It was a field full of flowers, and the colors were so brilliant. They are not colors that are related to this realm. They are magnified. It's like the colors that people express when they have taken DMT. And so he reaches out to me to come to him. And immediately I'm off the ground and in his embrace. Whose embrace? The angel's embrace. And the angel does not speak to me verbally, but it's telepathically. And it says, it's okay. It is okay. You are not alone. And then it is doing all this is all taking place that I have, the best way I can describe it is it's an orgasmic state. Now I got to stop and pull back. When I say or use the term orgasmic, because many of us know what an orgasm consists of and the final outcome of it. Now, this term orgasm is the best word in this physical plane I can use to describe the experience. As the angel embraced me, again, he did not speak verbally, but more or less telepathically from heart to heart. And he is telling me that it's okay. And he just embraces me. I called it at the time like I was raptured. And he had his arms around me, and I'm just laying on his chest, and he's just embracing me. And I could feel this rise, like that likened to an orgasm. However, it did not have a final outcome as an orgasm does. It didn't have a final destination as an orgasm done. It was not... It didn't have, how can I say, imagine a wave, and the wave rose in intensity, and it has that crest at the top, the very crest. The experience I had while in the embrace of the angel was like an orgasm rising like a wave and hitting that crest. But rather than falling into the deviance of our physical orgasm, it just set at the top of the crescent. And it was like riding. If you hear me say riding a wave, it was riding a wave. It was unending. It was unyielding. It was pure. It was continuous. And it was emotionally fulfilling. In that experience I had, it was a message given, a spiritual message through emotion, something like telepathically. And it let me know again, I was okay. I was not alone. I was being watched, taken care of, guided, even in this physical realm. And after it seemed like a very long embrace, very innocent, sweet, pure. He just put me back down. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go back. And the angel told me, you have to go back. It is not your time. I just had to come let you know that you are okay. We are watching you and you are loved. But again, there were never any verbal words. It was more of a telepathic communication. And then he went off back into the background and left. When I woke up from that dream, again, I say it again, I was full. I was emotionally full and complete. I walked this physical plane looking for somebody that just was similar to that angel. I walked with that sense of peace for about 2 years straight because it was so intense. These words are so limiting. What word am I talking about right now? Intense. Because even though the experience I had when in the embrace, raptured by that angel, I used the term intense to define it. But again, the crest rose, the orgasmic crescent rose, and we rode the very top, the tip of it. And there was a continuation of fullness, of completion, ease that eased my heart and my soul. It was the expression of love from an angel to myself. Now, I bring that up as I'm about to move into the dream I had last night. And it has to do, I do believe, with twin flames. Why is this dream significant? Because it revealed to me another level of love. I wish I could speak to be able to show y'all what I saw, or not what I saw, but what I experienced, what I felt. I'm going to go and I'm a TMI at this time. And the TMI is that in this physical plane, I have had a relationship, an intimate connection with someone so significant in my life. And I ain't going to get vulgar here, but I'll say this. All I could say is God wanted me to know that heaven was real. That's all I could say relative to my association, my relationship, and my intimate connection with a particular brother. I could sum it up once again by saying God wanted me to know that heaven was real. Now that was in the physical realm. What I experienced with that angel in my dream was a whole nother level of the expression of love. Now, back to last night and the twin flame union I had that offered me another glimpse into an expression of love, even that higher of the one I experienced here in this physical realm, even higher than the expression of love I experienced in relationship with the angel. This experience last night was divine. It was divine. Now, last night I had a dream. I don't remember all the details associated with it, but I do know that there was a lot of water throughout the whole dream. I do know that there were a lot of transitional scenes that happened in the dream. When I say transitional scenes, what do I mean? Me and this other person or entity or spirit kept changing forms and locations. When we found each other in the dream, there was a song that played throughout the dream, very low and tender, as if it was a theme song. And I asked you to take the time to YouTube it and listen to it. Listen to the words. And the song is If Only for One Night by the author Luther Vandross. Back to the dream. If you Google that song, you may be able to get an image or illustration in your mind's eye of this experience I had in my dream time relative to twin flames uniting. And so this theme song plays, and my twin flame and I come together. And it was like us being in union with one another, permitted the heart to express itself in the deepest expression possible. Let me try to say that again. The heart has a depth of expression. In connection, when in union with my twin flame in my dream state, that depth was achieved. That depth of the heart is where we become one flame. I'm trying to describe what was happening. And I got so much information from the dream. It's incredible. It's like it's an eternal flame. Eternal flame. Let me stop there. Because I just shared with you to be in the twin flame union together. The heart wrench is depth of expression. The depth of expression of love, and it was eternal. In the dream, as I mentioned, we were together, but we were constantly being pursued by others. It wasn't just one single individual or entity or whatever in pursuit of us. It was many others in pursuit of us, attempting to pull us apart, to break us apart. And every time those others became or began to be successful, I could feel, even in my dream, the tearing, the pulling apart of the flame. My question is, how do you tear a flame in two? How? Anywho, my twin flame and I are constantly moving and transforming forms and spaces and time in order to stayed as one. But there seemed to be special interest groups, and their interest was in separating. I apologize. Their interest was in separating us. Us who? Me and my twin flame. They were interested in separating the eternal flame that he and I'll say, shared. Work. And so the dream is pretty fast paced. Again, we're transcending time, and when we're together and it's undisturbed and it's unthreatened, we are transcending time and space. It's like the swirlies in the air caught up with the stars and the sparkles, the flames. You know how flames roll and rumble. It was deep. It was that depth. It was complete. It was full. But as soon as those others came near, soon as those others began to successfully separate the eternal flame, there was a pain of separation. There was a descent from completeness, from it was completeness. It was a descent from completeness into separation. Let me see if I can say it. Let me describe a little more about being in connection with my twin flame in my dream state. Is that once we came together, I felt it in my sleep. How did I feel it? It was like it was a moment in time when my heart really began to beat. It is as if my heart was missing beats. But once we were one, once we were merged, once we were eternal, my heart beat normal. What am I saying? If the dream I had is true, then right here in this physical realm, our standard heartbeat is not our normal divine heartbeat. It is like half its pace. Imagine every time your heart beats, someone else, your twin flame, heart beats in between. It's a complete, continuous heartbeat. Not only was that the case, it was like I could breathe. I could breathe. That puts me in the mind of another experience I had in a waking moment, but I'm going to stay on the subject matter because I'm going somewhere with this. Is that I could breathe. It was as if the air was clear. It was if the air was fused into my being and my essence. Now I'm not even interpreting, I'm just giving you my dream as it was in the physical experiences I was having in the dream, as well as the physical experiences I was having in reality. I was in union, I believe, with my twin flame. And as mentioned, the pace of the dream was quick. Why was it quick? Because there were others that were interested in tearing me and my twin flame apart. And so we're constantly moving and we're constantly changing time and space and forms we have never ever been the same form or in the same physical vessel for eternity. We have continued to incarnate in and out of this realm, taking on various forms at various times. And occasionally, this is what the dream is about. Occasionally, we would cross paths in this real physical world. As mentioned, in this physical world, there are people with a special interest in keeping twin flames apart. And I'm going to tell you why. It was given to me why. And so I'm going to stop. I wish I could let y'all see and feel what I experienced. I want to talk about, remember, this is a discussion. And it is a discussion about an angel's love as well as twin flames. It will make sense in the end. You just got to ride the wave with me. You just got to get up on that crest and ride the wave with me. But before I go on, I just want to make the announcement that I do have the tarot cards readily available and will be answering any burning question you may have at the end of this live stream with a single card answer. So, it's that place, back to the dream. It was that place, that moment, in whichever form me and my twin flame were in, that we could hide away and just be. Be what? Together. Better yet, be one. Again, to be together, separated from any threat, allowed me to really experience what it means for the heart to beat and for one to breathe. It was full, and it was the deepest expression of love, the deepest expression of the heart. I want to reiterate that there were many watery scenes in the dream, and I found that interesting because in the tarot, the water element is represented by the cup, and the cup and the water is representational of one's emotional state and the well-being of an individual's emotional state while in this physical realm. And how we meet with challenges through our physical, worldly life experiences that ultimately inflict our emotional state and therefore our soul. If I could show y'all the levels to this, that would be really nice. I bring that up again because there were so many water elements throughout the dream that it still shows the connection between this realm and the dream realm. It shows the connection between this realm and all of the alternate lives that we've incarnated in and out of, either missing each other or coming together and being forced apart. Now, this twin flame dream that I had last night is reoccurring. And it's not very frequent, but it does reoccur. Many times I have awakened and I'm in this bittersweet state, more near to melancholy. And why is that? Remember the song I've cited here, Luther Vandross's Only for One Night is the theme song of that particular reoccurring twin flame dream. I don't think in the past when I've had it that I was capable of dealing with the truth that was directly related to that particular dream. And the truth is that the twin flame has been separated. How do you pull apart a flame? There's an answer, but I'm going to come back to that because I'm still trying to get something out. If you just ride the wave with me, jump up on that crescent and just ride. So, back to the twin flame dream that I had last night, being an infrequent but yet reoccurring dream that I've had. And the theme song, If Only for One Night by Luther Vandross, is the theme song that plays quietly in the background. But at the time of the pulling apart, or the separation, or the tearing of the eternal flame that exists between me and another, that song in every dream is amplified as if the volume is turned up. And it's loud. When I wake up, my ears hurt because it's so loud. And I'm talking about literally. I wake up with these pains here in my ear canal. Hi, Wanda. How are you doing? I'm up here talking about twin flames and angel's love. I'm telling a story. And I'm going somewhere with it. You know, when you're with me, you got to ride away to get to the gist of it, because I'll be working my way through some stuff, but welcome. And so right now, Wanda, I'm talking about the twin flame union I had last night in my dream. I have been discussing the various levels of love, the expression of love. I talked about the expression of love on this physical realm and how I had an experience where I knew that God wanted me to know that heaven exists. And then there was a dream where I was raptured by an angel, and which the angel embraced me, and my emotional state, all that I was mounted up on the tip of a crescent orgasmic wave that never stopped. It never ceased. It had no into it. It was pure and it was emotionally fulfilling. And that emotional feeling, the comforter, it was like a comforter, lasted for at least 2 years, solid and strong. It was a reminder that I was being watched and that I was being loved and that I had to return back here for a purpose. And I didn't finish the dream that when the time is appropriate, that angel will come back and retrieve me. Okay. And then this even higher expression of the love. It is the depth in which the heart can go. And that is the twin flame union that I'm talking about, that I had a dream about last night, that has been reoccurring. Yet it was infrequent, but it's been reoccurring. And I was just ending at the intensity in the volume of this song by Luther Vandross, If Only for One Night. And don't get me wrong, that's not a song that I look up nor I play. It's not from my generation. I can hear it magnified through the whole scenario, from every scene, every incarnation, It's like this string or this melody that is tying the whole existence, although eternal, it's tying it together. And upon us being torn apart, that song is magnified. Every word is crystal clear. And the emotions, oh my God, I'm about to go into the emotional state because I'm going somewhere with this. If you just ride the wave for me, let me go to this chat because I'm just so excited about it. It's just amazing. Wanda says, good, how are you? Oh, wow. And I saw your other video. I just had another twin flame dream two nights ago. Okay, you got to share. I totally understand. The feelings are undescribable and feels like home. Yes, it feels like home, but not this filthy, low level, dirty place home. I'm talking about home complete, home attached to what is you. It is, when I say it's so liberating. And all I can just do is describe it's divine. There are no words really here to describe it. It's amazing. It's a pure home. Absolutely right, Wanda. That's what it's like. This pure home. It's complete. And that is like the best word. Complete love. Right, exactly. And so let me finish talking about my twin flame experience because I got some things out of that dream. Before I go into talking about the forced separation by those others, those people that have a special interest in keeping the twin flame union apart or breaking it apart. My question is, how do you separate or tear apart a flame? I want to refer to Hollywood, a movie in particular that deals with twin flame unions. And it became evident to me early this morning when I woke up after the dream, this reoccurring dream, that the movie Hancock, starring Will Smith, is the tale of twin flames reuniting throughout eternity. If you have seen the movie or recall the movie, Hancock and his twin flame, his wife, are superheroes. And throughout eternity, they were created, number one, to be together. However, in each other's company, they become vulnerable and mortal, weak. Weak to what? Love. Because of love. It's as if in the movie they had to give something to get something. And the way that particular movie went, storyline went, is that, again, they both were superheroes. They both had powers. And they had incarnated in and out of existence for all of eternity, taking on various, wasn't that they, in that movie, they were taking on various forms, but they were doing various time frames in the history of humanity. Therefore, their costumes changed and their behaviors changed. And the cultural norms changed. And they will always find each other. They would always find each other, come together, and become mortal. Why? Because they had to give something to get something. They had to give up their superhuman abilities in order to be together in that, how you say it, complete, pure, and complete love. But in order for it, this is another thing. I'm just thinking about this. In that movie, there were others, groups that had a special interest in keeping them apart. Once those twin flames, Will Smith and his wife in the movie, or Hancock, were together, that special interest group would come after them and attempt to kill them. Every single time Will Smith and his wife were harmed, or they attempted to murder them, and they would have to go a distance from each other in order to regain their superhuman abilities and to restore their strength and continue with their life. But that means that they were separated. And what am I saying? Why do I bring it up? Because it is an excellent example of twin flame unions and what I experienced last night, and I've been experiencing on a reoccurring basis, but infrequently, for the majority of my life. I'm not the only one. Joyce, Lori, Wanda, we're not the only ones. The person that wrote that movie has had this experience, possibly reoccurring dreams that have shown them what it means to be a twin flame. I'm telling y'all, I'm going somewhere with this. I was given some information last night. So let me talk about that tearing apart. Even if you watch the movie Hancock, I've got to go back and watch it. If you watch the movie Hancock, you can see the emotional trauma that exists when Will Smith or Hancock and his wife, his twin flame, are required to separate. You can sense the emotional trauma that they experience just from the separation. I bring that up because of another part of the dream that was highly traumatic to me, and very painful, that left me in that bittersweet state where I was melancholy and my heart began to beat at the normal rate it does in this realm, like it's missing beats, and I recognized it after last night. I've gotten to this place where I'm hypersensitive. I recognized after the dream that once I came out of the dream from having my heart beat the way it divinely should and breathing the way I should divinely breathe, and coming back into this realm, I was able to sense and feel that absence, those missing beats that are with my twin flame, that when with me and I with them are full and complete, pure, complete expression of love, as is my breath. I realized it when I woke up that I'm not breathing the same. It's as if I'm breathing half the rate that I was while in union with my twin flame. I'm going somewhere with this, but let me read the chat. You say, Wanda says, no, I've had it since 96. Since 96. Oh, your dream? Well, mine has been going on for so long. And I just want to repeat for the people that just came in that we're talking about. I started off talking about an angel's love. I've talked about the physical bliss I've experienced here in this realm. This physical bliss I have experienced in this realm was nothing in comparison to the expression of love I received from an angel a couple of years back in a dream state. And then neither of those experiences could even compete, or that's a bad word to use relative to this energy, because they just can't reach the level of purity as the emotional fulfillment that exists when in union with a twin flame. It is the depth, is the depth of the heart. It's the deepest, it's the depth of the heart. It's the depth of the heart's expression to be in union with your twin flame. Now, back to the breaking apart or tearing apart the eternal flame between you and another. It's not just another, between you and your divinely created twin flame. All I can say to make it make sense is, how can you tear apart a flame? But there are those that have an interest in keeping the flame separated. And it is a purpose, and I got an answer. I'm going into it after I talk about the pain. Now, in the dream, me and my twin flame would come together, intermingled as one eternal flame, once again, full, complete. It is the divine heartbeat and breath, and those special interests groups interested in keeping twin flames separated come and chase and pursue with one aim and one aim only, and that is to do what? Separate the flame. I just gotta keep posing the question, how can you separate a flame? Those special interests are eventually successful in my dream, once again, in tearing me and my twin flame apart. Just, how can I say it? Just the smallest disruption, the pulling apart of the eternal flame, is painful. Now, there's no fear associated with the separation, but there is a deep pain. The pain is as deep as the expression of the heart. It's that deep. And so, as we are being separated by whatever means, now that's something that I couldn't get clear. It was just every tactic possible that has been used and was used to separate me and my twin flame. And the slightest bit of success immediately created this pain, this forced separation. Immediately began to decrease the divine heartbeat, bringing it down into a slower, more spread out, more inconsistent beat. The slightest tearing of the eternal flame took my breath away, literally in my sleep. I'm telling y'all, when I woke up, I realized my heart wasn't beating the same. I was not breathing the same. In the dream, it was intense. For a lack of better words, it was deep. It was the depth of the soul, of the heart. And those special interests were tearing apart the eternal flame. And the pain was so tremendous. And that song that I've cited by Luther Vandross, If Only for One Night, that had been a theme through the whole dream, the whole scenario, magnified as if the volume went up as high as it can go into the heavens, and it echoed on into eternity. It was this string or this ribbon that tied the whole experience together. What experience? Eternity. and my connection with my twin flame. And the song played and the lyrics were crystal clear. I could hear them and the pain magnified in from here. Number one, the sound was so loud, and this is all the tearing apart of the flame, of the twin flame, the eternal flame, that I am in union with another that exists in this. I don't know what to call it because it's infinite. Within the infiniteness, they exist, and I'm aware of that now. And so the pain, the agony, the forced tearing, the pain was so deep. It literally took away the heartbeat and the expression, that depth of the soul, of the heart, of the flame was like being tormented as it was pulled apart. And when I'm talking now, I'm talking about the physical manifestation that happened to me literally as a result of having this dream once again. Again, this is reoccurring. I don't believe that I could deal with the reality that is directly associated with the theme of this dream before. This morning, I couldn't deal with it because it was so intense. Now, in the past, I've woke up very upset and crying, and I just go about my day. I forget it. I push it to the back of my mind. But this time, I set up. I did not go into the crying spell, but again, I felt this heaviness, this melancholy. It was bittersweet, and I had this again. I was sharing at the beginning of this live stream. I have had more control over my dream state, and now I'm ready. And who is Mermaid? And so after the tearing apart and I'm suffering physically in reality, I wake up in this tremendous pain from here to my across my breast line and from shoulder to shoulder, as if someone has been squeezing or what, tearing apart the flame. Oh, there go, Mermaid. Hope you are having a great start of the weekend. It is Friday, ain't it? Oh, hello. How are you, Mermaid? I forgot it was Friday. I've been so excited. Now, at this time, I want to talk about why. Why? Everybody has an interest in twin flames. Why? Oh, I forgot to say something. About because we know that twin flame unions, the eternal flame really does exist. It leads us in this physical realm, this low vibrational realm, to be a fool for love. That's what I got. That was one of the things. We become a fool for love because we know that divine love really, really exists. Not only did I get that, I also came to understand by going ahead and facing that intense emotional trauma that does not have fear, but it is very painful. It was painful to my soul as well as to my natural, real, physical body. I was just sharing that when I woke up, I was in pain from my ear, you can say my ear canals, my whole neck, from the magnitude of that theme song as we were being torn apart. The pressure not only resided there, but it covered every portion of my upper body to my breast line. and was from shoulder to shoulder. Again, it seemed like someone had squoze me till I was dehydrated, ready to crumble into dust. But keeping with the theme of twin flames, or they were literally tearing the eternal flame apart, which is me and another as one. Why would somebody want to do that? The answer was given and granted to me. Thank you, divinity. And the purpose, first of all, of twin flames, there's a purpose. Twin flames, when there is twin flames, just like in the movie Hancock, please go watch that, refer to that, or think back about it. When they came together, they became mortal. They had to give something, their supernatural abilities to get something. Pure, complete, divine love. The purpose of twin flames coming together is to bring, what do you call it, the singularity back. That's something that we all know. You had that kind of pain last week, neck area, super painful, yeah. The twin flame represents the singularity of existence, of consciousness. I know you've heard that before. Twin flames leave no room for hate, nor war, nor anger, nor despair. Twin flame unions, I need y'all to hear me now because y'all know I don't express myself well. I need y'all to catch this. Twin flame unions leave no room, no space for any negative, low vibrational energies or expressions at all. As I have described or attempted to describe in this live stream, it is complete. It is full. To be in a twin flame union, your heart beats at a divine rate. It is your heartbeat as it is naturally defined in this physical realm with another heartbeat interlaid in between yours. That is the divine heartbeat. It is the exact same concept relative to how you breathe. Every time you inhale, they exhale. And when they exhale, you inhale it. And it is this completion, is a divine breath, which leaves, just like an example, leaves no room for anything else. It leaves no room for hate. What leaves no room? Twin flame unions or twin flames uniting leaves no room for hate, war, anger, despair, depression, violence. Any low vibrational expression cannot exist. So, what is the purpose, or why is it that there are special interest groups that are interested in separating and making sure twin flames stay separated for all eternity? What I was given, the answer that I was given, it is so that this physical realm could exist. How can I say it? The separation of twin flames must be in order for duality to exist, and therefore for this realm and all the experiences associated with this realm to exist. Twin flame unions are so pure. Twin flame unions here on this earth would be a purification process There are special interest groups, entities, beings, people, whatever the case may be, that cannot allow twin flames to come together, because what it does is creates a singularity that does not leave room for any negative, low vibrational duality energies. Therefore, limiting or constricting this reality into the proximity of the rules associated with divine love. I hope I said that right. I hope you get what I'm saying. What am I saying? That is, twin flame unions were to come into existence in this realm at an alarming rate, this realm would literally contract. Is the word, contract. And why is that? It is because so many components and elements in this realm are diluted, you okay, Matha? They are diluted. It is duality. It is a perpetuation of the separation of the twin flame union. There are spaces, there are gaps, and those gaps are what are permitting the negative expressions to be created and to be held onto or manifested or grounded or made real in this reality. Once those gaps are closed up through twin flames uniting, this whole thing would just compress. And it would compress down to its simplest expression. What would? Life would. And the simplest expression is divine love. The divine love that is complete, is whole, it is emotionally fulfilling. It is emotionally fulfilling in a way that cannot be articulated using any words that are part of our languages right now. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you all. I have had an amazing evening. And now at this time, if you have any burning questions, I will pull one tarot card and offer you an interpretive answer to your one burning question. What are y'all talking about? Mermaid says, seems like twin flames create peace. They do. And that's what it is about. There is no space for the next thing. War in history has created higher ups to line their pockets with money. See, none of that can exist if twin flame unions were to exist. So throughout all eternity, there have been particular entities that have been their whole purpose and mission is to make sure twin flames do not reunite. If they were to, all of that war, the money, all this that we know would cease to exist. It is like it would be again, it will be swollen out or dehydrated out or compressed out of our reality. And what I came to know last night or early this morning finally is that twin flame unions are real. I already knew they were real, but I knew they had a divine purpose. Exactly what that divine purpose was, I was kind of feeling around. I kind of had it, but it was given to me last night, 100%. And what am I saying? I'm not talking about imaginatively. I'm talking about in reality. Eternal flames exist, and eternal flames were literally pulled apart. How do you separate? Do you know what kind of demonic or um, I don't want to say, well, I'm going to say demonic or Luciferian type of energy has to exist to be able to pull apart an eternal flame. We ain't talking about no regular old lighter flame. We talking about an eternal flame. That is the jolt from divinity. And so we're dealing with some major stuff here in this realm, that in order to have this realm, to have their way, to have this kingdom and build up upon it, it depends on them making sure that twin flames do not reunite. That is some deep stuff. But I ain't finished reading, which it seems like twin flames create peace. War and history has created higher ups to line their pockets with money by using others. If there is peace, then they don't get rich. Right. If there is peace, they don't get rich. Bottom line. And these are things that we already know, but we won't hold on to it at all. We won't hold on to it. We know it, but we do not embrace what we know and work from that which we know. And it says, "You're right, mermaid." And then it says, "Sorry for my spelling errors. I just noticed the spelling check mistakes." We get you though. We all know about that spell check and that with that autocorrect. You say you found him yesterday. I put the puzzle together. Wow. You're fine, mermaid. I'm typing with one hand while cuddling my daughter. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, since there are no questions, I will move to end this live stream as soon as I can. So if you're ever interested in ordering your own personal tarot reading with me, Nancy, all you have to do is contact me at my email. My email is canangelsfly1@gmail.com. Until then, or until next time, bye.